Hello, lovely people. It's so wonderful to be in your screens. This is the first time we are having this, so it's a pre-show before the Altar of Answered Prayers. It will be happening from now onwards every single Monday from 8:15. It's just like a 30 minutes talk show to prep everybody for the prayers. Because sometimes you do not prepare, you just show up when it's 9. Exactly. That's why a man of God thought of it. As the great man of God he is, and was like, no, let's have this pre-show to prep you up even before the time. So today we are going to be, I'm here with Sergio, by the way. So it's so nice to have you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. First of all, I'd like to thank my man of God for this wonderful opportunity. I mean, it's such a blessing. It's such an honor. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Okay, amazing. You know, we cannot just start without tackling some things that happened last week. So I took note of some things that happened last week. I don't know. One of the first things that came to my mind when I was thinking about the things that happened last week was, by the way, I'd like to thank Aoap for this opportunity. Thank you so much, Say. Thank you so much, Pastor Say. Thank you. One of the things that happened last week that really caught my attention was the testimony on the Monday. I don't know if you remember the testimony of the guy who had the fungi infected fingernails. You remember it? Tell us about it before we go into it.
Thank you so much, sir. I mean, starting with the prayer. Last week was actually the manifold blessings.
Yes, 3 days of manifold blessings.
3 days of manifold blessings, and I mean, the prayer alone, because the first day, oh God.
Yeah. I remember Pastor released like 12 blessings.
12 blessings, yes.
Stop.
And after the prayer, to crown it all was the testimonies. And I made some people connect. I made one lady connect. And amazingly, the lady connecting to the prayer, she got a testimony because she connected the prayer with a severe cramps.
Okay.
Yep. And in the course of the prayer, she said she joined the prayer around 9:30.
Okay.
By 9:42, the cramps had left. So I was at least Alex with the lady.
Okay.
And then I was just watching her and then like observing what she would do. So I was just waiting for the testimony side. So when I saw the testimony and myself, like I've seen that testimony, I've heard the testimony, but like that was the first time of seeing the video being played out.
Yes.
And then I saw the fingers. That was so badly looking. It was being eaten by fungi, and you could see that now this finger, like it was bad.
Yes.
And there was this gentleman I was with, and he was like, this thing is so serious because the fungi, like he has really cultured it for a very long time because it's over 10 years.
Yes.
And
over 10 years.
Yes.
Over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
Jesus.
And he was saying something because that was when my attention got drawn to it, that he has cultured the organism for a very long time.
Yes.
Like, so no, you can't just use any medicine or anything to just treat it and then get it like off because it has been cultured. Like,
yes.
And so the fingers are now used to the fungi.
And the beauty of the thing was how the word came. And the description, the accuracy of the word, the way Pastor described it, it was like the fungi infection is eating off your fingers.
Yes.
Like, I wonder why Pastor didn't mention any other thing. And I couldn't have thought of fungi infection eating off somebody's fingers. You know, there are several types of fungi infection.
Yeah.
But for Pastor to specify,
and it didn't even end there. He went to the extent of mentioning the scientific name.
The scientific name.
This proves that it was so supernatural.
Exactly.
And it didn't just end there. Like, okay, so he mentioned the case, and then he described the case and mentioned the scientific name of the case, and that was it. No, you see, there's the beautiful part of it, that anytime our man of God mentions something, anytime our man of God mentions a case, it comes with a confirmation, and it doesn't end there. At all. the following, which is the testimony, which is the healing, comes like it's of necessity that it must show.
And that is the most beautiful part for us all.
I know, right? And when I saw the guy's fingers after, oh God, that was it was so unbelievable.
Something he has nurtured for like 10 years, and then within 1 week or less than 1 week, it's gone.
Not that it was just gone, no, it left. And then the nails were restored.
Yes.
And the gentleman who couldn't grow fingernails.
The fingernails was growing.
Yes. For the first time in a very long time, had his fingernails growing back. Like,
at this point, I feel like they can use me to do emoji. I'm serious. And last week, okay, that was just one of the many testimonies that came from the 3 days of manifold blessing. So some of us do not know some of them. So I took notice of some of them.
Yes, please.
So I'll just go through some of them so we get it. So last week on the 3 days of manifold blessing, somebody was praying, and the person, I think is the one you're sharing, the person had migraine or something. And then right within the prayer, the whole migraine left, and it had been there for like I think 2 weeks or so. Wow. The person has been experiencing it back to back to back, and then right within the prayer, the migraine ended.
This is serious. Say, you see, usually when you hear such testimonies like migraine left and then stomach ache left, you may not really appreciate it until you've experienced it before.
And another person shared a testimony of how the person had pain around the right side of the waist, and it had been there for 2 weeks, and it felt like they were pulling the bone from the waist, from the right waist like that.
Jesus.
And right within the prayers, something that has been there for 2 weeks, right within the prayer, that the 3 days of manifold blessing, I think it was the day 3 or so, or the day 2, the pain totally left. You see, sometimes when we say it sounds like you are telling a myth, but it's the truth. The person said the pain has left. You are not in the person's waist.
The person was actually feeling the pain, and he knows, like, who would like to own or become entitled to something that would be like an excruciating pain. Like that. No one would like that.
Exactly.
And so if the person is saying it, the person actually went through it. The person actually felt that pain. The person was actually feeling that pain. And you see, the person shared that testimony because it was unbearable. So the pain leaving was like a big thing to that person. So the person of necessity had to share it, and the person shared it. And it was big to the person. It was big to the person.
Exactly. And then, it brings me to another person who shared a testimony of how the person had been having sleepless nights, so couldn't sleep. The maximum the person could probably go sleeping was 3 hours. And then, like, the person literally can't sleep. And no matter how early, exactly. And then I think Pastor mentioned it on the call.
Oh God.
And then the person texted that the person has been healed.
Oh God.
And as beautiful as that is, okay, I want us to come into this week's theme. But then there was this testimony that blew my mind. Okay. All right.
Yes,
it was shared in the church one service.
Okay.
So I don't know if the people from other churches have heard it raw time. So I can't give you raw time like he shared it, but it happened last week.
Okay.
All right. So amazingly, okay. Calm down. Let me keep my composure. So there was this guy in church. There's this guy in the ecclesia cell.
I was in your service.
You said, all right. You get it. So he shared a testimony of how when he came to this school, when he got his admission, is a testimony that's making us like that. When he got his admission, it came as fee-paying student.
Okay.
You get it?
Yes,
as fee-paying student.
Compose.
That was level 100.
All right.
So he gets to he pays his fees, half of the fee-paying student's fee.
Yes, please.
Then he goes to do his registration. Then he realized that he has some credits on the MIS.
Okay.
So that means the school is owing him.
Yes.
The next semester he does another registration and realizes that the school is still owing me.
Okay.
But the amount he paid was supposed to be 50% of the fee-paying amount. But then he was able to use that 50% to register for 2 semesters, and the school was still owing him. And then he didn't really understand the whole thing. Then later on, he went to the account office to go and ask them what was going on. And they told him that, He's a regular student, not a fee-paying student. Then he tells them, I'm a fee-paying student. Then he goes, they tell you, go and print your proof of registration, that academic distance. He goes to print the academic result, that admission letter. He prints it and brings it, and then on it is written that he's a regular student. Meanwhile, the thing came out as first that he's a fee-paying student, and he has printed it, and he has the proof that I'm a fee-paying student, but it has come out again that he's a regular student. So level 200 still regular, 300 still regular. He gets to 400. Now that situations are tough for his family, and then they don't really have the money to pay his fees for fee paying right now. Even for the regular, it was quite some way. Now it switches from regular to fee paying again.
How come?
And this is it. He goes to the account office. They tell him there's nothing they can do. He reaches out to somebody who knows them, who knows the way around campus and knows people and can fix things. The person says, okay, so this and this and this. Reaches out to the people and tells him that you have to write a letter to the pro-vice chancellor. And then by then, he had, was it like 3 days or so to the deadline of registration. So write a letter. He knows that if I write the letter, pro-vice chancellor, it's not today.
Now the bureaucracy alone.
The bureaucracy alone, it can take a very long time. So he couldn't write the letter. And then 2 days, it was from 3 days, it has gone to 2 days to the final days of registration, and he couldn't register. He goes to the account office, they tell him that they can't do anything about it unless he writes a letter to the pro-vice chancellor. So he goes home. We are praying on 3 days of manifold blessing. Then he takes his expectation
On the day 3.
on the day 3. The day 3. So the deadline was supposed to be on Friday. So that means Thursday. It was already Wednesday night.
Yes.
So that means Thursday is probably like the only day he has.
Yes.
He goes to the park because there is noise. Because he says, actually the thing is, when you get too serious, you leave your comfort zone and go
Very true.
and move
very
away.
true. And with today's being total turnaround, I'm sure a lot of
We'll
people
come to today's theme. I'm really following time. I'm watching because of today's theme. So he goes to the park and he's praying with expectation. As he's praying, right after the prayer, he takes the paper he has written the expectation on and tears it. Tears it and throws it away that no, this one, it is done.
His faith alone.
His faith alone. And then on the Thursday or so, which was the next day, he goes about his normal distance, calls the person doing the person calls him, the person who was supposed to help him, asking that, have you written a letter to the pro-vice chancellor? He said no. He goes to the account office to go and verify what's going on. When he gets there, he asks them, have you done anything about what I came to ask? They said, not yet. Go and check. You understand? At least try registering. Let's see what will happen. You understand? Because they don't know what's going on. He steps outside, takes the phone, goes to his MIS, tries to register, and realizes that he could register for all his courses. And this was his final year. So that means it could have caused him to defer for a whole year. And the way he wrote it on the altar of answered prayers on Wednesday, prays about it seriously, not in his comfort zone, on the park. Seriously. And has the faith enough to tear the paper that, no, this one is a done deal. Jesus. You see, that's the thing. If you would push for what you really want on this altar, you would always get it.
You would always get it.
You would always get it.
You would always get it. And that's why a man of God made us come here today.
Exactly.
To awaken us, to let us be ready for today's prayer. Because if you would have the same attitude as this gentleman had, you will definitely have the same result as he had.
Amazing. So before anything, okay, I'm trying to share with everybody some testimonies we had from. There is a testimony highlights. I don't know if you've seen it, but you can post it. Let me tell you some of the conditions Pastor mentioned last week. Because some people do not share their testimonies and some people do not share their confirmations. He mentioned something like osteoporosis. I don't know what that is. But then he mentioned something like glaucoma. He mentioned motion sickness. He mentioned that there is tingling in the ear. You can't tell me it's a lie. The last time he said there's tingling in the hands, in the fingernails. Somebody confirmed. So I'm wondering why the person didn't confirm. He mentioned hypersensitivity. Yeah. He mentioned that amputation is cancelled. He mentioned that there is something artificial in somebody's heart.
I remember.
I'm wondering why this person is not. He mentioned something like is it prostatitis? I don't know you people your terms. He mentioned something like hiccups. That is not season. Is hiccups not that thing they do? Is that thing? How can you do that thing forever? But you see, that tells you that it's demonic.
Amazing.
Pastor mentioned it.
And we know right by now the person is so healed.
But the person is not sharing.
You have
The
to
person
change.
is not sharing.
You have to
That's the
change.
problem right now.
You have to change.
That's the problem right now. But then let's dive straight into this week.
Whoosh.
So this week's theme, talk to us about it.
This week's team, total turnaround. And
Yes.
it doesn't just end there. It comes with another thing, which is total restoration.
Yes.
So like you have a total turnaround and you also have a total restoration. Total turnaround. I don't know. You see, sometimes there may be things that people may be going through and they be wondering if there could actually be a turnaround in such situations or circumstances. But you see, what our God cannot do does not exist. What our God cannot do does not exist. And this is the altar of answered prayers. And I believe if God has called this day of altar of answered prayers to be a day of total turnaround and a day of total restoration, then it means there's going to be this total turnaround and total restoration. Yeah, so today's prayer, 3 days of manifold blessing. Look at what happened on the last day when someone took it so seriously. Taking it serious, you actually start seeing the total turnaround from today. You actually start seeing the total manifestation and total restoration from today. So today's like, it's total, it's not sub, it's not spat, it's total, like complete. God is bringing complete restoration to families. God is bringing punk and then thinking there's not going to be any escape route or any way the things can change. Like God is saying it is today. There's going to be a total turnaround of every situation that has lingered for long. There's going to be a total restoration. Like after the turnaround, God will compensate you
With
by
the
restoring all you've lost and even more.
Amazing. So tell me, you've been on the altar of answered prayers for some time. What are your expectations for this week?
Expectations.
What are you expecting?
I mean, there was one time. It's more or less like a testimony where my mom had this. My mom has a restaurant and she lost the restaurant. Fast forward, pastor gave a word that she was going to get the restaurant 2024. Long story short, she got the restaurant and she was not just seated, she was trying to get the restaurant this year, but before this year, she was trying to get a restaurant before this year. But you see, because the word of God came that she was going to get it in 2024, she got it in 2024. And when she got it, the person who gave her the place was like, oh, it's going to be for 6 months. She will be given the place for 6 months to use. And after 6 months, she'll now start paying for the place.
Okay.
We joined the prayer. After some time, the person comes back after my mom has used the place for, let's say, 3 months, and be like, oh no, the ones you've done, the months you've done already, we are canceling it. That was more or less like a non-scoring thing. And then we are now coming to do the contract well. So from May, I mean just this past May,
Okay.
to next year May,
Okay.
is when she will use the place for free again. So instead of it being from March to, let's say, September,
Yes.
it was now extended from May to next year May. And it didn't just end there. It will be with all the utilities. Like she's not going to pay for any utility bill. She's not going to pay for no light bill, nothing. And this is a sign. This is just something today's team is talking about. My mom was restored, but she had a turnaround, and it didn't just end there. But she was compensated with not paying utility bills and stuff. And I mean, utility bills in a business venture is one of the things that really consumes.
Exactly.
Yep. And that is it. Just like that, the word came. She got to the place. And she didn't just get a place. So it wasn't just a turnaround of not having a place to have a place, but now she has a place, and now she has been given free access to utility things, utility resources. Yes, sir. And
Amazing.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing that's going to happen to anyone who connects to today's prayer. It's the same thing that's going to happen to anyone who connects to today's prayer. Like with expectations, someone who like is so tired of the level they are in, and if you connect to today's prayer with this like desire, you actually leave having your case turned around. You actually leave having restorations come to you. Yes, sir.
Amazing. You know, I did a little research, okay? I wanted to find out what the layman or the dictionary definitions of these words. So I wanted to understand them individually before I came, and I thought of them. Then I decided, okay, where to start from? Where better to start from than from the dictionary? So I started and I looked for the meaning of total, and it said complete or absolute. Then it gave another. It said comprising the whole amount or the whole number. So it's a totality of every single thing that concerns you, your life, your health, your Christian life, your finances, your family, everything. Okay, now let me move on to the next phrase, but then we'll take a total turnaround. The turnaround, it says an abrupt or unexpected change, especially one that results in a more favorable situation.
God.
So it is unexpected. So that means that it can even go beyond the things that you write down on your expectation list and affect the things that you do not expect. And usually it goes on in your favor.
Yeah. And this time around is complete.
And it's complete. So it's a completion of every single thing that you expect and do not expect of God even this week. The things that you are expecting, the ones you write down, the ones you will not write down all.
So this is bringing a scripture to mind, and God is able to do
exceedingly, abundantly, above all
you ask
or think. And then I went on to the restoration, and it says an action of returning something to a former owner, place, or condition. So that means besides the turnaround, every single thing that you've lost, God is going to return it back to the former condition. Maybe your prayer life is down, your prayer fire is down. God will return you back to your former condition. And it all depends on, would you really hold on to it? Like how ready are you for it? How hungry are you for it?
How passionate are you for it?
How passionate are you for it? And the whole thing is, all you have to do is pray.
Just pray.
Just pray and respond, amen.
That's all.
That's all. Write down your expectations. You know, before we leave, okay? Before we leave, I wanted to run you down some. If you don't follow us on social media, please do, alright? Go on Instagram right now at Auto of Answered Prayers and follow us at Auto of Answered Prayers. Go to TikTok at Auto of Answered Prayers and just follow us. And then on YouTube too, you can just check us on Higher Life Church. Just look for it to pop up. Alright, these are some of the testimony that was posted on our social media handle just today. Alright, the first one, opportunity and sponsored flight tickets received after prophetic word. So the person wanted to travel, the opportunity came, and the ticket was sponsored just fully like for the person to travel. The next one is, this one is a set of multiple testimonies received, and this is the testimonies: an unmerited well-paying job, a passport sponsored and fast-tracked. The passport was sponsored and fast-tracked. It was premium. If I go to it, we won't finish now. A laptop from the United States of America. And then the next one is severe insomnia terminated. That is the
one we shared.
Severe stomach pain and colon cancer healed. You see, we say it like that, but it is not like that.
Colon cancer.
Colon cancer.
Colon cancer was what killed Wakanda, the actor.
Colon cancer was what killed. Who? Oh, sure. Amazing. Those who understand. Those who don't. It's amazing. And it was just healed like that. So that means if he was connected to the altar of answered prayers, he would have survived. And then he was one of my favorite Marvel characters. Too bad. So at that point, please invite somebody to connect. You don't know who you'll be saving. You might be saving my next favorite Marvel character. Please. All right, wonderful. Let me run you through the other ones. Healing from UTI, urinary tract infection. UTI and unexpected fail grade becomes an E.
Say these conditions, you are just mentioning them, making it look like they are nothing.
They are nothing, but they are something. They kill people. Let's continue. Persistent resits for every semester ends after declaration. If you're a student,
You
this is for you.
understand.
Severe migraine terminated. Internal waist injury healed. The one I was sharing.
Yes.
The person felt like they were pulling bones from the waist. Oh, you don't understand. Another person received visa to Japan. And the beauty of this testimony, okay, let me expound on it. Okay, we have just a few more minutes. The beauty of this testimony is that the person had applied to USA and Canada and was rejected. So now the person brings it to the altar. You understand?
Yes, please.
To pray about it. When the person brought it, then now the uncle the person was praying for went to apply again. You understand? And pastor had given the person a word that this time around it will work. Now the uncle goes and applies for Japan. He comes back and then he asks, the person went to ask the uncle, how long does it take for a Japan visa to come? He says minimum 2 months. That's what the uncle told him. Minimum 2 months. In 2 weeks' time, the visa was out.
2 weeks.
Minimum of 2 months. In 2 weeks' time, the visa was out.
2 weeks.
Let's continue. Gastric ulcer was healed last week. Somebody was healed from pain in the shingle.
Yeah.
The person was healed last week. And this was a very beautiful one. Hypertensive BP healed. Somebody had hypertension. It moved from 178 to 128, which was hypertensive crisis.
Yes.
At this point, you are too far too gone. Now the person also had, what do you people call that? Diabetes on top. So that means minimum, even if the person is well, the person's BP should be around 140.
Yeah.
140/90. But after adding to after one of our services and pastor gave a word, the BP moved from 178 128 to 123/90. Those who don't understand will not get it, but let's move on. Somebody received financial help from unexpected sources. Another person received 1,400 cedis just from adding to the person's expectation. There was another person who received 2,200 cedis from adding to the expectation last week. Amazing. And somebody was healed from severe pain in the neck. Instantly as you were praying. It's also amazing. So I told you something. It all depends on what you want. How much can you expect from God? Somebody is having colon cancer being healed. I'm wondering what your condition is. Colon cancer. Somebody is having UTI disappearing. Hypertensive crisis is moving from 178 to 128 down to 128, 123/90. That tells you how big it is. 90. Now your mom is going through such a thing. I just want to let you know that it is possible if you can only believe.
It is possible.
Any last words you want to say to the people? Talk to somebody who is not expecting anything. Talk to somebody who is not expecting anything.
So if you're on the call and then you are actually not expecting anything, this is just to tell you that there can be a total turnaround, like a total turnaround in everything in that situation, in that thing, in that situation. There can be a total turnaround. Yes, there can be a total turnaround. So just build the hope again. Yes, there can be a total turnaround. There can be total transformation. There can be total restoration. Yes, it happened for people, and it can happen for you too. It's the same God. It's the same God we are coming to pray to. We've prayed with Him, and we are still praying with Him, and we are about to pray with Him today. And He that did it for those people is the same God that will do it for you. So, with these testimonies we've shared, it's just to let you know that yes, there can be a change in this situation. So you can get back to writing your expectations now. You can get back to building your hope now, and then getting ready for the prayer. Because I know after this prayer, you will share that testimony. You will share that testimony. Yes, please.
Amazing. I just remembered a certain GHS friend of mine, SHS friend of mine. that used to join but is no longer connecting, and I'm going to invite him right now. I've done my invitation, but I forgot that guy, so I'm now going to invite him. Please do also get somebody connected to the altar of answered prayers. Don't wait for pastor to say get one more person connected. Somebody usually leaves one person. Invite all the rest, leaves one person, because pastor will say get one more person.
What just came to mind, and even making pastor go back to say get someone connected. At that time, he could have used to declare.
He could have used it to declare a word that is for you. So get somebody connected on the altar of answered prayers. It starts at 9, exactly at 9. Please don't miss it. It's just 9 minutes away. You can still do a lot more of invitation right now. Thank you so much, Pastor Steph, for the opportunity. This is the pre-show for the altar of answered prayers, happening every single Monday from 8 to 8:50, and we'll see you next week. Thank you all, and have a good evening.